comfortable, guys. You see, we're in really nice, big, comfy chairs.
Yay! Just in time for our first guest, a very, very awesome guest today. Sheila Singam has a passion for helping others unleash their potential to achieve success. Her mission is to help others discover and live out their purpose in life. She is an aspiring agent for change, having gone through some exciting career changes in her life, and believes that change brings growth as well as a strong sense of achievement. Please welcome Sheila to our studio.
Hi,
welcome,
Sheila.
Singam.
Well, I really have to say that I love the color that she has on, because you just, our theme is so young and colorful, and you are in this
pop
color.
out in that great chair.
I love colors. I love bright colors.
And also, I must say, I'm at awe at how you incorporate, you specialize in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming.
That's right.
And you incorporate that in your corporate trainings.
That's right.
And that has had a really good, effect on people.
Yeah.
Now, could you please share with us how and why you got into training?
Well, I started off my working life as a teacher, but after about 5 years or so, I didn't really take to it. I wanted to go on and do something else. Not that teaching is not meaningful, it is, but I was teaching mathematics and I wanted to go and do more than teach mathematics. So I started doing some courses on training, thinking that that would be a natural progression for my career. So then when the opportunity came, I actually left teaching and started doing training with a real estate company. I was teaching their people, their new recruits, how to sell property, because I had been selling property part-time myself.
Right.
And then after that, I had the opportunity to go into journalism, and I said, well, why not try it, you know? And let me tell you, before I made all these career changes, it was very frightening, but you need to just take that step and get past your fear and go and do what you want to do or believe that you can do. So I went to journalism, and I was there for 10 years. I was writing about property first, and then I was writing about issues and lifestyle. And then again, the opportunity came to go back into training, and by that time I had encountered, I'd done a practitioner program in neuro-linguistic programming and timeline therapy, and I got very excited at those tools. I got excited at what those tools could do in my life, and then I started practicing those tools with people. I would just tell people, hey, do you have anything you want to resolve? Can I work with you? Can I practice on you? And so I did, and I found them to be really, really profound. So when I went back into training, I went back into a corporation to do training. I said, these tools are very powerful. Maybe I can infuse them into the corporate training programs. So I started designing programs using NLP and extrapolating the NLP models to the corporate context, and I found them to be hugely successful, and people got very excited at the programs, because the thing is, I've actually rebranded this whole NLP program and timeline therapy program to call it Tools for Transformation, and I'm very brave about saying they are tools for transformation, because I know it might sound very cliched, but they really do transform people.
They really do.
They
and
really
this
do.
is a very interesting, NLP is very interesting. They take, when you say timeline, is you revisit your past and try to shape your future, which we'll be speaking more about.
That sounds like a video game almost.
Yeah, it's a real life video game, really, and it really works. And you can instantly get rid of a limiting belief. I had a woman who come for a lady who come for one of my programs, and she was a stunning woman. Let me tell you this, she's really attractive, but she had a limiting belief that she's not beautiful. Can you imagine that? And there are lots of women out there.
Yes.
There are lots of women who have actually the image they have of themselves doesn't gel with how they actually look. There are tons of beautiful women out there constantly wanting to be like thin, or thinking that they're not beautiful. I need a nose job. I need to do this. I need to do that to myself because I'm not beautiful. But actually they are.
They are.
So because they have a limiting belief that maybe they acquired somewhere in school, or someone told them, and so they decided to take on that belief and kind of let it sort of lodge and prevent them from doing all the things that they want to do, So
And I wonder what is my limiting factor.
So
I can help you.
Right, yes.
Can we talk about well-formed outcome for a bit? What is that, and how does that apply in our lives?
It's a very, very powerful model, well-formed outcome model. Now, you've heard of SMART goals.
Yeah.
Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound goals. So the well-formed outcome model is sort of like an enlargement of the SMART goals. It's still, you still need to fit into the SMART goal category, but it takes it even further. Now, let me just give you the criteria for a well-formed outcome.
Are we doing this?
You want to do it?
Yeah, why not?
Would you like to do it?
Sure. Let's
Okay.
do
Right
it.
now?
Yeah, right now,
I'm
if you want
scared,
to.
but
Sure.
okay.
Don't judge us, guys. We are
Okay.
people too.
Well, you don't have to tell us what you really want.
Okay.
So you don't have to reveal all to the
You're right.
millions of people listening to you now. You can keep that to yourself.
Okay.
But first criteria is to state what you really want in positive terms. So you want to avoid saying things like, I don't want to be poor, for example.
Right.
Because when you use the word don't, actually your mind deletes the negative and focuses on the word after. So if you say, I don't want to be poor, your mind deletes the don't.
Only
so
the
because
poor.
I want to be poor.
Yes.
You know? So if you say, I don't want to be fat, then that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And so a lot of women also say things like, oh, I want to lose so many kilos. Now, we try not to use negative words. Now, I ask you, if you lose something, what do you do?
Look for it.
Absolutely.
Oh. Wow.
I got it right.
Right.
That's not like rocket
So-
science, but you know.
So what do you
That's
say
great.
instead?
I want to be thin.
No. Okay, fine. But what's the definition of thin? You know,
Healthy and
healthy.
fit, not
yeah.
thin.
Or you could say, I want to weigh so many kilos. You know, whatever
No,
your
just be
ideal.
healthy and fit because
Yeah.
muscle weighs more than fat, okay?
Right.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
Done.
That's good. I think that's a great attitude to have.
I think
Right.
we want to continue the
this.
well-formed exercise.
And you guys will know what's
Yes.
going to be limiting us with this well-formed outcome model, and which we'll be checking out right after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Hello and welcome back to Vbuzz. You're still with us, Juanita and Shangkharee, and we are still in the studio with Sheila Singam, coach and corporate trainer. Before the break, though, we were doing this well-formed outcome exercise.
That's right.
And can we continue? The first question was to find out
What you really want and
Right.
state it in the positive.
State it in the
All right.
positive. All right.
Now, the second thing.
Shangkaree's paper says 6'3" honky hot model. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'll come to that point in a while.
Can you cut her
joking.
points for her peeping? Teacher, she's doing that. She should be sent out of class.
Okay, Juanita, focus on your own well-formed
Okay.
outcome.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I used to be a teacher, so I'm a bit stern, you know.
Feel it.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So what you do is state it in the positive, what you really want. Okay. Now, bear in mind, it's got to be smart. It's got to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and tangible. So it's going to be something that you can see.
Okay.
Okay. And that brings me to the second point. What will you see, hear, and feel when you have got it? Okay, so that's actually to help you to immerse yourself in that time and space where you actually have it. So you have a taste of it, you have a feel of it. You can see it, you can hear it, so it becomes more compelling. Okay, the next thing you have to ask yourself, is it within your control? So that tall, dark, 7-footer Shangkharee, if he's then it's his and you're his well-formed outcome, yes, then it's going to happen.
Well, I can
okay,
put him in my control.
all right. So bring him in your control, and then it can happen.
Right.
All right. The next thing is it ecological? Meaning, is it going to be good for you? Is it going to be good for your relationships? Is it going to be good for your community? You know, we always look at ecology in whatever we do, yeah? And the next question you ask yourself is, do you have all the necessary resources to achieve it? If you do, great. If you don't, what can you do to bring those resources within your reach? Okay, some people say, oh no, I can't achieve my ideal weight. I don't have time. I don't have money for a personal trainer. Well, those are not the only resources you need. So go look for the resources that you can get to help you achieve the well-formed outcome. Now, the next question to ask is, if you could have it now, would you take it? And if the answer is a resounding yes, then it's going to be a well-formed outcome. But some people might say, no, I don't know, maybe not yet. Then it's not going to be a well-formed outcome because there's no compulsion for you to go and get it because you don't really want it. Yeah. And the final question you ask yourself is, how come I don't already have it? And that's the question. People say, Sheila, what kind of question is that? And I say, that's the question that's going to flush out the reason, the excuses, the limiting beliefs, what is holding you back from actually achieving that. So if you have a limiting belief that's stopping you from going and achieving that well-formed outcome, and you can flush it out, you can eliminate it and put an empowering belief there instead, then guess what? That was the only thing stopping you from getting the well-formed outcome, right?
Right.
So you'll be able to get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've taught this process to many, many people. People have set well-formed outcomes about owning property, about having the car of their dreams, about pursuing a higher degree, or going into business, getting the business success they want. And in all of the cases, and I'll safely say in all of the cases, the people that I've coached have actually gone on to achieve their well-formed outcome.
Wow.
Right.
Because
that's great.
So when you say like it has to be SMART goals, what about feelings? Like how you want to feel at the end of it? Like you want to be happy,
Fulfilled or happy,
fulfilled.
yeah.
Is that a goal?
That's not really a goal because it's not tangible, you see.
Right.
That's a state. I want to be happy, so create a state for yourself where you're happy. But that's not really a goal. A goal is something that actually you can see, hear and feel. So when I say, when I've achieved that goal, what am I going to see? I'm going to see myself in that scenario, working in this, office with these wonderful colleagues, with, my name on a brass plate on the front door, of the door of the office.
Right.
What am I going to hear? I'm going to hear accolades from people saying, you've done a great job on that project, well done. And I'm just going to feel exhilaration, a sense of achievement. So when you access those feelings and, you're actually creating a movie in your mind of having achieved that well-formed outcome.
Right. And these people that you've trained, they take it and they go out there and they achieve these things. But let's talk about the people who don't know, mainly women maybe, who don't realize that there is a world of opportunity out there for them. How do we get them to realize that there is, and so that they can choose?
I think very often we limit ourselves because we don't even dare dream.
Yeah.
Because we're already telling ourselves that, oh, I dare not dream because I can't get it anyway. And that's limiting belief.
Right.
I think we need to teach our women to dream. Dream about what you want to be. Dream about what you want to do. Dream about what you want to achieve. Because seriously, I mean, it has to be realistic. But you can really be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
I'm relating my own life story, right? When I was a teacher, I always said to myself, this is not what I would really want to be doing for the rest of my life. I want to go out there and help people transform their lives.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't really do a well-formed outcome as such, but I remember about 25 years ago, one rainy evening, sitting down and writing down all the things that I really wanted to do because I was feeling a restlessness inside of me. So the first thing I would advise women, if you're feeling a restlessness inside of you, sit down and ask yourself, what is the source of that restlessness? Is it because I'm not doing what I really want to do? Is it because I'm not achieving what I want to achieve? Is it because I'm not who I really want to be? Then write down what you want, who you want to be, what you want to do. And that's what I did. I wrote down things like, I want to go for singing classes, and I want to write and see my name published, and I want to do sewing classes, I want to do flower arrangement classes. So many things I wrote, about 20 things in there.
Right.
And I've actually achieved all of them. I went for flower arrangement classes, I went for singing classes, I did all that stuff, and then, I went on to write. And, in those days when I was a teacher, I used to read publications like, in those days, the only women's magazines around were like Her World, and I used to read the NST, was the paper then, and, the Star, and look at all these people who are writing things, and I used to say, oh, I wish I could do that as well.
Yeah.
And it came about because I went into journalism and I began to write, and I began to meet famous people and write about them, write about issues. And then at some point I said, I really want to be able to transform people's lives.
Yes.
Because people used to come to me and talk to me. From days I was in school, I was everybody's agony auntie, But I didn't really have the tools to be able to help them. So I could just sit and commiserate with them, sometimes cry with them and say, are you okay? There's a better life and all that. But what tools was I giving them,
Yes. So now you've got all the tools equipped to save the world, I would say. Now,
absolutely.
It already seems like it's a problem that women don't dare to dream. But then again, there's gender disparity that exists in the workforce. And what are some of the cultural differences that that we have to contend with. And also, Malays, Chinese, Indian women different when it comes to goal settings?
Does it make a difference?
Well, I would say perhaps the older generation, you might have seen those differences, because I don't mean to put people into compartments, but I do understand that, Chinese women tend to have more of an entrepreneurial streak in them, because they're encouraged to go out there and think about, how to do business and make money, because many of them also come from business backgrounds, and Indian women usually tend to play it a bit safe.
Yes.
I'm Indian, I come from an Indian background, and I remember when I left university and I wanted to actually go out there and venture into the world of advertising and events and things, because 30 years ago that was unheard of. Nobody was doing that. And the fact is, everyone wanted you to go into conventional businesses, and my father said, no, I think you do your DPED and go into teaching, because that's the best job for a girl, and I don't want you sitting at home with no job, because it was the early 80s, and jobs were market was a bit down. He said, if you become a teacher, you definitely get a job, then I don't have to support you, So we all just flowed along. We all just flowed along into other people's expectations. I guess I'm fortunate in that at some point I took stock of my life and said, this is not what I want to do, and went on to pursue what I wanted to do. It was very scary, and I'll tell you, it is very scary, and I would advise all women, or men and women who are sort of poised on the threshold of change and don't know whether to go or not, get this book. It's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Okay. That was one of the first self-help books I ever read, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, by a writer called Susan Jeffers. And I read it, I'm like, wow, awesome. Because what she says is there are no wrong decisions.
Yes.
Okay, there are no wrong decisions that you can make in your life. It's just a decision that works for you or it doesn't.
Yes.
And if it doesn't work for you, take the learnings, learn from that, and go on and make another decision. It's like, taking a road. You take this jalan, it doesn't work, you don't get to where you want to go. Jam, patah balik, and take another road.
So simple, simple. And I'm sure you have some advice to give the women out there. What will be advice that you'd want to give to?
I would say to you, ask yourself what you really, really want to do. What's the desire of your heart? Now, I believe that every one of us was put here for a purpose. If the desire of your heart coincides with the purpose, and usually the purpose is tied in with the desire of your heart. So if you really, really want to do something that is outside of maybe your training, you train in law, let's say, and you want to go out and write, or you want to manage events, or you want to help people, you want to become a coach, go and do it. Find the resources. Resources are always there, and all of us have the resources. We know where to find the resources. Very often we just make excuses to ourselves. Find the resources and go and do what you want to do.
All right.
Definitely.
We are going to go out and do it. Thank you so much, Sheila, for joining us on Vbuzz.
Thank you for having me.
It was, I believe it's not only inspiring for the viewers, but equally as much for us. I'm
going to go back and write down everything, what I want to do in my life.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you very much.
Right. And our next segment,